Welcome to another Ghost Head Soup adventure. Please ride along with Dean and Amanda as they head north on a legend-tripping adventure to Green Lake, Appleton, and Maribel, Wisconsin. During the trip, a sequence of triple numbers started to appear as Dean and Amanda reached each of their destinations. Is the universe trying to communicate with them? What are the numbers telling them? The first was 000, which Dean caught immediately on the truck license plate. He knew it meant something, but didn't say anything. The second number was 111. Dean called it out immediately when he saw it on the exit sign. They arrived in Dartford Cemetery in Green Lake, Wisconsin. This is the mausoleum where there's people that come up on the mausoleum and they get pushed off during Halloween time. Do you dare me to get on there? I don't think so. For safety reasons, not because I'm scared. But this is the mausoleum of Jackson Walker. Apparently he tried to bust out of here. And in the back of the cemetery is Chief High-Knocker. We currently have a REM pop going there in a video. There's a little cash over there where you could take some money if you, low on, toll money. Said that there's a little girl that pushes people off the mausoleum. Not sure who the little girl is. And then there's claims of Civil War soldiers that marched through here. Not sure if that's documented anywhere, but that's what I read. So just coming out here and checking the place out, paying our respects, seeing if we can get some evidence of the dearly departed during COVID-19 time. We're in Green Lake, Wisconsin. Now, apparently, Chief High-Knocker drowned in the Fox River and was buried on the Fox River in 1911, and his son ended up moving his remains here at Dartford Cemetery. So, as you can see, there's some legend that, I don't know if there's any claims about him being haunting the cemetery, was there? I guess you can see him walking around or talking, who knows, whatever the kid's made up. Unless the chief wants to prove me wrong. Now the whiz just picked up and knocked the camera over. How about that? Is that a sign?
Do you not like to be recorded?
Is that the sign I'm looking for? I mean, seriously? You couldn't, that timing was good.
If you want us to leave you alone, you can come over here and touch this. That'll let us know that you want us to leave you be.
Yeah, we're going to get going soon. So can you say goodbye? Dog in the background. Oh, it actually says drowned on the... Numerous details are mentioned about the chief, and discovering the true facts seem to get lost with every story told. As we like to have history to support our adventures, here is what we have pieced together. In 1911, the newspapers had reported that Chief High-Knocker was 76 years old when he died. Oddly, his grave marker shows that he was alive from 1820 to 1911. That would make him 91 years old, not 76. We know that the chief was buried at the bend of the road leading to the Frank Albert's place in the Grove. It had a nice picket fence surrounding it. The chief's wife, Susie Boss Thunder, had her father, Boss or Big Thunder, buried in the same cemetery in 1908. The property deed shows it being a cemetery, so it was not to be disturbed. Big Thunder was said to have been killed when his horse was frightened by a car. Around 1934, the bodies were moved to Dartford Cemetery. Unfortunately, Big Thunder's name was not added to the memorial. So how did Chief High-Knocker die? Chief Hanniga, later named Chief High-Knocker, preferred the shores of the Fox River, and as the will of the earth, on August 12, 1911, it was reported that Chief High-Knocker had drowned in the Fox River. Even the manner of how High-Knocker drowned is questionable. The early reports mentioned that he was taken with cramps and drowned, but the same article stated it was High-Knocker's son who had drowned. There was also mentioned that the combination of advanced age, terrific heat, and consumption of an unknown quantity of firewater took its toll. And lastly, he had to cross the river because someone had taken his canoe. The end result still being the same. But we are still wondering why they have him down as being only 76. There are more stories of Chief High-Knocker and how he loved to mingle with the early settlers, making friends and selling his goods. An article speaks of him playing a little handmade flute, marching around the market square to drum up business for his baskets and trinkets. So maybe late at night, you might be able to hear Chief High-Knocker playing one of his tunes. So everyone, I got Amanda on the phone here, and I just would like to have her explain to us what it was that she felt at Dartford Cemetery. Go ahead, Amanda.
So what happened was Dean and I were walking to the mausoleum, and I saw a couple of headstones that just looked interesting to me. So I made a note in my head that I wanted to go and check those out when we were done. And he's like, go ahead and walk around if you want. So I did, and I went and looked at the first headstone, and it had a saying on it, and it was pretty cool. Then I went looking for the other one, and when I spotted it, it had some wood on it, so it was interesting. It turned out that both of them had my name on them, Amanda. So out of all the headstones in the cemetery, I picked out the two that said Amanda, which is actually more of a my generation name. It's not really an older generation name, so I found that really interesting.
Well, thanks for calling in, Amanda. That is kind of creepy when you run across or pulled almost like it's demanding you to come over here, right? And say, hey, I'm an Amanda too. So that's pretty cool and creepy, right? So pretty cool, yeah. We gotta get up there and do it again. As we said our thanks and goodbyes to the spirits of Green Lake, we headed to our next city, Appleton, Wisconsin. As we started to get closer to the city, a building appeared displaying their address. Nothing like a giant 222 displayed in the sky. Our first stop was to visit the Between the Locks buildings. Strange noises heard during the night. Glasses seemed to move on their own. Lights would flicker, and other objects moving in other shops as well. Under normal circumstances, Amanda and I would have went inside to see for ourselves. A short distance away, we find the historic Zilke building, which is believed to be haunted by its former owner, Irvin Zilke. His ghost seems to wander the building along with a mysterious spirit of a male torso floating about. And if that doesn't scare you, add some soft, ghostly piano music that has been heard inside the building as well. Nothing like an evening of curling. Wait, what? Well, if you want to visit the ghost of an Appleton curling club, that's what you have to do. It has been witnessed that unexplained footsteps are heard walking about and that chairs have tipped over on their own. Are the ghosts enjoying a spirit or two? I would think so. One of Amanda's best friends recently moved to Appleton, and she noticed that we were about 3 minutes from her house. So, keeping within the 6 feet social distancing rule, we knocked on her door and surprised her. I did note that we arrived in the driveway, you guessed it, at 3:33. Well, welcome to Riverside Cemetery. Our mission was to find Kate Blood. They have poor Kate becoming a witch, a murderer, an adulteress, and she can actually make blood appear on her grave. So that's where the legend, that's where the draw comes from. What we do know is that she died young. So knowing the facts, we basically just were there to pay our respects and with her permission, speak to her spirit. What we didn't expect is that she may have been talking to us as well. As Amanda and I reached Kate Blood's grave, Amanda pointed out that we were a second away from 444. Of course we were. So Kate, do you like the attention that you're getting? If you like the attention that you're getting, please touch the device on top of the tombstone. If you can make that light up. Are any spirits here? George? Mr. Miller? Are you here? So we're at the tombstone of Kate Blood. You can see they probably put stuff on there, like earlier mentioned. So it's supposed to have blood coming out of here. So we know all that stuff is false. So basically we're here to pay our respects to Kate and just see if she wants to communicate otherwise, or any other spirits for that matter. More just to get out of the house and come see this, pretty nice cemetery here. It's on the bluff. The rest of the cemetery is portioned up there. There's a few stones next to her, as well as her husband and his second wife. And as you can see, she wasn't that old when she passed. 23, 24. So, young girl died of consumption in Lawrence, Kansas. We got Amanda, Dean, go sit soup. Come out and play. I got the radio here that you can speak through. Hi. Hello. Is this Kate? Did you just say your name? Hello? My name's Dean. Hi. Picking up something here. Okay, we just came out to validate you and let you know we're thinking of you. You died at an early age, unfortunately. Hello? Mary? Mary or George or Kate? Mary? Kate? Is this really happening? Seriously? Kate, can you touch the device on top of your tombstone? It will just light up some lights so we know that you are here with us. Talking in the background. Alright, so it sounds like some radio, but it sounded like something was saying Kate and Mary right when we were talking. As we headed toward our last location, Maribel, Wisconsin, Amanda pointed out that Lambeau Field was in our sights. I attempted to take some photos, but they didn't turn out that well. I did mention again that one of the pics I did grab was taken at 5:55. God help us, because our next stop was Hotel Hell. So we got Amanda and I out here at the 19 Maribel Caves Hotel. And down the street there's the Devil's Lake Campground. And this is our 666. Sun out. What you're seeing is the remains of the once Maribel Caves Hotel. Now, this hotel had burnt down many times, and they say under a full moon the building seems to have this glowing effect. Did a hotel guest kill everyone in the hotel before taking his own life? It's also said that black witches performed a ceremony that opened up a portal, possibly in the front yard fountain. Demons would haunt the town of Maribel until a white witch saved the day by sealing the portal. This goes back to the Prohibition time, where we have gangsters hiding out, enjoying a little spa and recreation. Do underground passageway exists? These are claims that we can't see because it is a no trespassing, unsafe building right now, unfortunately, but it's still an amazing place to come and look at. Do the spirits still exist here? Who knows? Did they sacrifice out here? Did they cut limbs off? There's a green bag over here. Looks like there's a finger inside there. I don't go touching stuff that I'm not supposed to. Now, while we were legend tripping, we did get back on the trail and did some sightseeing. We got lucky and spotted a majestic bald eagle. Later in the evening, I was watching a television show who was attempting to corral some fighting eagles. Another example of synchronicity at its best. As we headed back up the trail, I noticed a tree, a strange tree. It had horns, like the devil, which ties into Hotel Hell, and of course, 666. Oh no, it doesn't end here. So on the drive home, Amanda had questioned why we were driving north. I replied that we weren't. We should be going south. So I kind of freaked out for a second. Well, she moved over her COVID-19 masks and showed me that the car navigator clearly showed N. So I looked at a GPS and I said, no, Lake Michigan is to our left. So we're going south. Later, we called Laura on the phone. She asked us, well, did you tell the spirits to stay put and not to follow you home? No.